Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be working on my 75-gallon green jade shrimp tank. We got some algae mess to clean up. We've got lots of shrimp in here to go over and sort and see how good they are. And like when we got all this moss in here, we don't really know how good the shrimp are going to be. So let's get busy and find out. First thing I'm going to do is pull out all this moss, and then we'll see what the shrimp are looking like then. Well, first, let's take a look at the tank. So this tank, like I said, 75-gallon green jade shrimp tank, is clear on the other side of the house in the front room, and it's not sitting on 2x4s and cement blocks. It actually has a stand and a canopy. Look at this. But check it out. This is the tank. It had been really struggling for quite a while. That's why my green jade shrimp are out of stock on the website, but not for long, because we've got lots of little babies. We've got, it's the cladophora, I believe is how you say it, algae. This tank is the only tank I have that has it. It's not your typical hair algae. It's more like a green fuzz algae. And we've got lots of shrimp in here. It'll be interesting to see just how many shrimp are in here. The shrimp are looking pretty good. I did get in here last week and I pulled out 20 or 25, but there's still a good bit amount of bad shrimp we got to get out of here. And then the light, like I said, we got new lights in this tank, and the lights are so bright that it makes this algae pearl. And when it gets to purling, it makes a lot of it float. So let's see, we got a clump of algae there. And the shrimp really do look good. I mean, there are some that need to come out, but generally speaking, this tank is looking really good. Okay, so I've got a bucket over here full of water, and I'm gonna separate the algae as good as I can, because I'm putting almost all this moss back in here. I'm not taking this moss out because this thing is doing good. I just wanna, well, this moss full of algae I'll be taking out, but I wanna make sure everything in here is good. So I'm gonna pull out all the moss, see what the shrimp are looking like, and then let's see what we got going on here. This will be fun because I'll be able to tell how far away I am from being able to sell green jade shrimp again. All right, so now we're gonna pull all this out and being very careful not to hurt any of our little shrimpy buds. And look at that. This algae, see how it's not hair algae, it's the cladophora algae. I do believe this is the same kind of algae that the Marimo moss balls are made out of. I'm not quite sure how I ended up with this algae, but you see the algae in there. There is still a lot of good moss in there, but there's a lot of algae. I think I'm just gonna throw this clump away. But let's see, there's still little shrimpies in here that we gotta get out, because we don't want to lose any of our precious green jades that have been hard to come by here lately for me. That is turning around. And look at, see the bubbles right there? Okay. Alright, let's get this clump out of here now. Let's clump of algae right here. I'm gonna try to pull it out without messing up the moss too much. We're gonna stir up all the mold sitting underneath the moss. I guess that is to be expected. Now, let's see, we got all the shrimpies out of there. Alright, let's pull this great big guy out of here. Oh yeah, look at, oh, that is pretty sweet. There, look. Oh my gosh, there's a lot more shrimp in here than I thought, which is super awesome. I am pretty jacked to see how many shrimp I got in here now. Oops. Make sure we scurry all these guys out of here. I'm going to leave this great big huge moss wad completely intact. I'm just going to pull it out and put it in my bucket and place it back in when we're done sorting the shrimp. Alright, we got that in there. I'm going to take this rock out for now. I used that to weigh down the initial little piece of moss that was in there. Alrighty, right, let's see what we got over here. This is a huge piece of moss right here. This one is massive. Look at this. So many oh man, look at all the shrimp. Oh my gosh. I got a lot more in here than I thought. By the time we're done, I may have these guys back on the website because I really didn't know how many there's. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to tear this moss clump up because it's too big to handle without messing up and getting a lot of baby shrimp. So there's a little bit of algae. I'll go ahead and pull the algae bits out of the moss and throw that in the trash. This tank is always going to be battling algae because frankly I probably got too much light on this one, to be honest. See, I got something like I think 120 watts worth of light on this. Which I guess again isn't really that much when you think about it, but I always talk about keeping our tanks low tech, easy as can be. And for me, in my situations that I keep my shrimp in my tanks, this is borderline too much light. But this tank needed some help to get going again. There's quite as many shrimp on this side as there was on the other side, but we'll keep on keeping on. Hopefully this don't stay stirred up too much. Oh yeah, there's still a lot of shrimp in here. Just gotta carefully go through and make sure I do not leave any shrimp in the moss. Even though the moss is going back in and there's water in the bucket, but we're trying to sort the shrimp, not put a whole bunch of them in the moss bucket. Yeah. Some growing over here in the corner. Let's attach this up to the glass. There's definitely more shrimp, it looks like, on the other side, which I find interesting, but there's lots and lots of little ones too. So this is going to be an ongoing process. Like when I sell my shrimp, before I make them available on the website, I like to make sure I have plenty, so I'm not just putting 10 or 20 on there at a time, because it makes sense. More shrimp make more shrimp faster than less shrimp. So the more shrimp you got, as long as you're not reaching the limits of what you're keeping them in, you'll make more shrimp faster with more shrimp than with less shrimp. That's all I'm saying there. Nothing earth shattered. I cannot get these guys out of this moss. There's so many of them in here. That is a good problem. There's a lot of moss in here. Oh my gosh. More moss in here than I thought. Alright, so then we'll come over here. You see there's a little bit of moss that had gone astray. It ended up growing in the crypt island I put here in the middle. That thing has turned out to be pretty awesome. Now, pain in the butt when you got shrimp to take out, but I think it's looking pretty good. I think it's looking pretty dang good. Well, let this settle down for a little bit. But take a look at this. So like I said, excuse the cloudiness, but we've got a lot of green jades in here, and we have tons and tons of juveniles. And so what I'm wanting to do, I'll probably give it another 3 weeks to a month before I start offering these for sale again. On the website, I got lots and lots of people. I got a huge line, so as soon as I put them up for sale, they're gonna be boom. So I want to make sure I got plenty in here, and they're all as good as I can get them to be. And yeah, there's definitely less on this side, but there's still a lot of little shrimpies over here. The green jades. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to set out some algae wafers. Probably put some algae wafers right here, and probably put some more on this side. And I still got to get that clump of moss algae that's been growing on the filter. I'm going to pull that out. And we'll do a time lapse here, and we'll see just how many are in here, and then that'll, when it clears up some, we get them all gathered up, that'll make it a lot easier to call them out. The bad ones, that is. But again, other than these males that look like that, the puke green ones I've talked about in other green jade videos, most of them are pretty dang good. I mean, for green jades, I don't know what else you could ask for. There's lots of them in here. Ooh, I'm super excited. And you can tell there's a there's a huge baby explosion. Just by looking at all the juveniles in here. So I'll give it another month probably, and let these juveniles reach breeding age, and then we'll see about making these guys available on the website again, because I know there's been so many of you guys asking about it. Okay. All right, my favorite part of the video, the time lapse. So you throw in some algae wafers and look at them come and get it. It's like ringing the dinner bell. Come and get it, boys. Come and get it. And just by looking at the overview of all these guys, they look so stinking, they look so good. I'm so happy with these guys, man. Just so many dark, beautiful dark green jade shrimp, man. These, just watch them, man. I'm out of words to say. These guys were really struggling, and now it's good to see their numbers bouncing back like this. And you see all the little tiny ones coming up to the food. Man, these guys are looking so good. All right, and so you can see that little bit right there. That's pretty good gathering of shrimp. Let's see what the rest of the tank is looking like. This is the algae wafers I put on the other side of the tank. Those guys are all looking mostly pretty dang good, other than this guy right there. Even then, there are worse green jades out there by a lot. Alright, you can see there's just little babies scattered throughout everywhere. They're doing so good. So apologize, it's all stirred up from the moss being pulled, but so I always get the ones with the significant back stripe. Now there's some old ones like that get a really faint back stripe. I usually leave those be, but the ones with significant black stripe or back stripes, the yellow back stripes for these green jades, I pull those guys out. Now there's another really faint one. I leave the faint ones because they all kind of get it with age. Not all of them, but most of them end up getting it when they get old. And most of these are buried too, so that's another way. But there's one I definitely want to get as far as the back stripes go. There's another one where it's really significant and pronounced. The ones that used to get a really faint one, most of them end up getting those to some extent with age. So we're not going to be real super worried about getting those. Alright, let's start fishing these shrimp out of here. Okay, so hopefully you guys will be able to see some of this. Catching some of these guys out of here. Let's see what we got. So first thing we want to do is get the clearly super bad ones. Like this yellow one. Get out of there! This is the hardest part sometimes. There's a nice, super perfect buried one. There we go. We got a yellowish looking one. Let's see. There's a light one with a stripe on her. She's buried too. Here's one of those kind of puke green looking ones I talk about. If I can get them. Here's one. That one's really not even that bad, but I want to get it. Because we're having a big time population boom. And we want to get, let's see, oh, come on. I'll try to get two in one go. One got away. But we got the one. Here's one with the back stripe that we definitely want to get out. This one has a really pronounced back stripe and it's buried and huge. Oh, come on. Some of these shrimp are so hard to catch. Alright. Man, that one's that's a really good shrimp. Just has the back stripe. But that's why these are so good, because I'm so picky. The kind of yellowish looking green ones that we want to get out. Right there. Still not a horrible shrimp. There's a lot of people out there with green jades worse than that. Alright. Here's another one with a weird color, and it's buried too. Come on, we don't want that. There we go. We got the little baby out. Yeah. That one is, I don't know. I think that one can stay because the back line's really faint on it, and it's super buried. All right, that one's gonna stay in. So here's one that's a very pronounced yellow stripe. If I can get it. There we go. That one has a definite stripe and oh, we got a couple bad ones in there. Yep, all those can go. Man, some of these females I'm pulling out are huge and buried. There's one's not so hot right there. Still not completely horrible, but not the greatest. Alright. Here's a little one that looks yellow. Right there. Alright. Let's see what we can find here. Here's another littlest yellow one. It's a good one. We don't want the good one. So that's the problem with this, is sometimes you get the ones you don't want end up in the net. Here's another one with a super pronounced back stripe. If I can get it. Yep, that one. Oh, she got out. Come on, man. Got her. Whew. Man, she is big. And she is buried. Oh, why do you have to have the back stripe? Here's some yellowish looking one right there. Oh, there's a pretty decent male. I want that yellow one. There's a little baby in there too. Oh man, trying to get the this is patience. And the one I want to keep will stays in the net. There's a little yellowy looking one. Here's one that's less than spectacular. Let's get pretty picky. Alright, there's a yellowish one. And get it. There we got it. This dang little one I don't want. Don't stop swimming in the net. Man, this is gonna be so frustrating. There's one that's, man, that one's good. It's just little. There's one swimming right there that ain't good. Alrighty, we got that one. Another really poor male right there. Here's a different looking one. Kind of that puke green color, but we got a good one in there we want to keep. Alright, we kept that one in there. Here's another one with a pronounced yellow stripe right here. Here's a little one with the yellow stripe. And two little babies that are good, just swam in there, so that's a pain in the butt. God dang. Here's another back striper. Oh, I'm getting pretty aggravated, to tell you the truth. That one can go. That one's pretty faint, but I'm feeling pretty picky. Here's one that's kind of yellowy looking. These are looking pretty good now, I gotta say. I'm pretty happy with these now. There's some that are not super hot. Let's see. You just gotta stay on top of this because there's always little ones, you're never gonna see all of them. One's actually not that bad, but feeling picky. So we're gonna take that one out. Alright. This side of the tank is looking pretty good. I do believe. For the most part, I'm really happy with that. So now let's get going on the other side. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. You can tell I was getting pretty picky on some of these. Like this one right here. In the tank, it looks, the back stripe look pretty dark, but when you get up on it, it really isn't that bad. Then you got a bunch of these are obvious ones. The puke green, yellowish looking ones that look almost kind of like wilds. We got, I don't really see too many of those left, so I think we're doing pretty good. But I'm super excited. I really didn't know how many shrimp were in here, and now I can see there's a lot, and they look pretty freaking awesome. So that's all super good. Let's take a look at the tank again. Well, there's a good shot of some good green jades right there. There's still a little bit, some with a few faint back lines, but not really too bad. Like I said, I'm never going to get them all completely perfect, but we got to get them the best we can. And I'd say, as for green jades, these guys are pretty stinking good. My assistant, what have you been doing, Meow Meow? So she's been in my way the whole time I've been trying to do this. And we got all the way over here. Lots of really good shrimp there. And of course, those are the ones we pulled out again. So let's get this tank back together, putting the moss back in, and hopefully still a few bits of algae I missed. I tried to pull off all the algae off the filter intake. We'll get to doing that. Then we'll start putting the moss back in, and it'll be fun. Hopefully we'll get this tank looking good again. I mean, it's going to probably take a couple days for it to clear up again, but these shrimp, ooh, there's some really, really good ones in here. Let's see, this one right there, wowzer. You can see what I'm talking about with the faint back lines. They all kind of get it when you see them young with them. It's one of those things, they all kind of get it a little bit. Well, not every single one of them, but a lot of them do. There's some good green jades there. Some really good green jades. See, there's a really old one. You see what I mean about the faint back line? Wow. Pretty excited about this tank. Really excited. Alright, let's get it back together. Okay, we're awful stirred up, but take a look. We've got lots of super good shrimp in here. We've got the moss all put back in. We've got our coals right here, and as always, no matter how careful you are with the moss, there's a couple decent sized ones, a couple juveniles, and little babies in here. So all these coals, and then whatever ones are in here will go in the Skittles tank. Let's put these guys in the Skittles tank next. All right, here we are at the Skittles tank. Let's put these guys in the Skittles tank. Ooh. Ooh. And there's one. Okay, we got them all, I think. Alright, that's where all the coals go. Alright, I know so many of you guys have been waiting. I get emails every week asking when my green jade shrimp are going to be back in stock, and that's the main tank. My 75 gallons, the main tank I sell out of. So it won't be long, you guys. It won't be long, another month or so, and I think we'll be good. So this is how I do my green jades, and we have lots of stuff coming up. I've been only doing 2 videos the last couple weeks, but I've been busy, just not stuff you guys want to see videos about. I've been selling and decluttering my worldly possessions to add another extension to all my shrimp stuff. So in my bedroom, my wife and I's bedroom, she gave me the go ahead to, she even helped me clear it all out. In fact, she did most of it. We cleared it all out, and I helped, and we sold stuff, got rid of stuff. I had dozens of old RC airplanes just piled in there. I ended up keeping like 4 planes, and I haven't flown any of my planes in like 5 years. So, but I got rid of all the ones I used to build my own from scratch, and almost all that's gone, and making room for fish tanks, out with one hobby and with another hobby that's turned into my career, I guess you'd call it. So all right, you guys, thank you for watching. Bye.